Picture this. It's 3:47 in the morning. December 2nd, 2025. Minneapolis is frozen solid. Most people are asleep. But 17 unmarked federal vehicles are converging on one location. Not a drug house. Not a cartel safe house. Minneapolis St. Paul International Airport. And the person they're coming for? She's sitting in her office right now, reviewing manifests, sipping coffee, thinking she's untouchable. She has no idea that in 4 minutes, her entire world is about to explode. This is the story of how one woman turned America's airspace into a cartel expressway, and how 840 federal agents brought it all crashing down. What's up, everyone? Welcome to our channel, the place where we break down the federal operations and criminal investigations that never make it to the evening news. If you've ever wondered what really happens when the FBI kicks down doors, or how cartels actually operate on U.S. soil, you're exactly where you need to be. Today, we're covering a case so wild that when I first read the federal indictment, I had to read it twice just to believe it. We're talking about a deputy airport director who wasn't just corrupt, she was running point for one of Mexico's most violent cartels. And she did it for 4 years without anyone noticing. So make sure you're subscribed, because what you're about to hear is going to make you question everything you thought you knew about airport security. Alright, let's jump in. On paper, Layla Hassan looked like the American dream. Born in Somalia, immigrated to the U.S. as a teenager, worked her way through community college, got a job with the Minneapolis Airport Authority in 2010, climbed the ranks, became Deputy Director of Operations by 2021. She was respected, trusted. She spoke at community events, mentored young Somali women trying to break into aviation careers. But here's the thing about people who live double lives. They're really, really good at it. Because while Layla was shaking hands at city council meetings, she was also coordinating with the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, one of the most violent criminal organizations on the planet. And she wasn't small time. She wasn't just looking the other way, she was the operation. Now, you might be asking, how does someone like this even get noticed? Great question. Let me tell you exactly how it started. The red flag nobody saw. 8 months before the raid, a junior analyst at Customs and Border Protection noticed something weird. A cargo manifest for an inbound flight from Guadalajara listed aircraft maintenance parts, weighing 340 pounds. Standard stuff. Happens every day. But when CBP ran a thermal weight scan on the actual shipment, the scanner showed 890 pounds. That's a 550-pound difference. So the analyst flags it, sends it up the chain, and that one flag starts pulling a thread that unravels everything. Federal investigators start digging. They pull 4 years of cargo records, and what they find is a pattern. 47 shipments with weight discrepancies, all approved by the same person, Layla Hassan. But wait, there's more. When they cross-reference her approvals with airport surveillance footage, they notice something else. Every single one of those shipments arrived during scheduled maintenance windows, where security cameras were temporarily offline. Coincidence? Not a chance. Question for you guys watching right now. Have you ever caught someone in a lie because of one tiny detail that didn't add up? That's exactly what happened here. Drop a comment if you've got a story like that. By late November 2025, the FBI has enough to move. And they move fast. At 3:51 a.m., FBI Tactical Response breaches the airport's Executive Administration Wing.NO announcement. No warning. Just the sound of boots on tile and commands cutting through the silence. Layla Hassan is at her desk when they come through the door. She doesn't run, doesn't resist, just sits there, staring at the agents like she's trying to figure out what went wrong. And then, they start searching. Here's what federal agents recover from her office in the first 20 minutes. Evidence Item 1. 4 laptops, all encrypted, all connected to a private server not registered with airport IT. Evidence item 2. $73 million in U.S. currency. Vacuum sealed inside hard shell cases labeled "Aviation equipment do not open." Evidence item 3. 26 airport security badges issued to individuals with no employment records. Fake names. Fake backgrounds. Real access. Evidence item 4. A burner phone containing direct messages to a cartel lieutenant named El Jaguar, a high-ranking CJNG operator wanted by the DA. But here's the most damning piece of evidence. Hidden behind a false panel in her desk, agents find a handwritten ledger for years of entries, dates, weights, routes, dollar amounts. It's a literal playbook. And at the top of the first page, in Layla's handwriting, it says, "Puerto Norte Phase 1 complete." Puerto Norte. The Northern Gate. That's what the cartel called Minneapolis. So let me ask you, do you think she kept that ledger as insurance? Or did she actually believe she'd never get caught? I'm genuinely curious what you guys think. Let me know below. The simultaneous TAKDOWN, but Layla's arrest is just the beginning. At 4:19 a.m. While she's being cuffed and read her rights, Operation Northern Shield kicks into full gear. 840 federal agents. 33 locations across Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Ontario, Canada. I want you to understand the scale of this. This isn't a drug bust. This is a military-style coordinated strike. Target site Alpha Bloomington Freight Depot. FBI breaches a warehouse registered as a logistics hub. Inside, they find 2.9 tons of crystal meth, 1.4 tons of cocaine, 510,000 fentanyl pills stacked floor to ceiling. One of the agents on scene later described it as a pharmaceutical operation disguised as a shipping company. Target site Bravo Shakopee Private Airfield. ICE Air and Marine Operations hits a small airstrip 20 miles outside Minneapolis. 3 Cessna cargo planes are parked on the runway. Engines still warm. Flight logs recovered from the control tower show 63 unauthorized trips between Minnesota and cartel-controlled airstrips in Sinaloa, Mexico. The pilot tries to destroy the logs. Doesn't get far. He's tackled before he can even reach the incinerator. Target site Charlie Metro Distribution Network. This is where it gets even crazier. Hassan hadn't just moved drugs through the airport. She'd embedded 19 cartel operatives directly into the workforce. Baggage handlers, night shift supervisors, freight coordinators, security personnel. These people had fake identities, fake social security numbers, fake employment histories, but real airport access. And every single one of them reported directly to Layla Hassan. By 10 a.m., the operation is over. 67 people arrested, 9 officials detained, $150 million in assets frozen. And Layla Hassan, she's sitting in a federal holding cell, staring at the ceiling, finally realizing it's over. After the raids, everything gets sent to FBI's cyber forensics in downtown Minneapolis. And when the tech teams crack open Hassan's encrypted drives, what they find is beyond anything they expected. Let me walk you through the 3 most important discoveries. Discovery number 1: the recruitment files buried in a hidden partition is a folder called Nexus MN. Inside are detailed profiles on 54 airport employees. Each file includes full background information, financial vulnerabilities, family connections, how much they were paid or threatened, what role they played in the operation. Some of these people took bribes willingly. Others were coerced, threatened with deportation, blackmail, or worse. Hassan knew exactly who to target and exactly how to control them. Discovery number 2: the route map. Investigators recover a file labeled NCM8, Northern Corridor Map, version 8. It's a detailed schematic showing how narcotics move from cartel production facilities in Jalisco, Mexico, through MSP Airport, into distribution hubs across the Midwest, and finally into Canada. Minneapolis wasn't a stop on the route. It was the route. The map even showed backup routes through Milwaukee and Indianapolis in case Minneapolis ever got compromised. The cartel was planning for the future. They were scaling up. Discovery number 3: the blackout schedule. This is the detail that made even veteran investigators pause. Hassan had administrative access to the airport's surveillance system. In over 4 years, she scheduled 147 maintenance blackouts, periods where security cameras went offline for routine updates. Every single blackout matched a cartel shipment. She wasn't just smuggling drugs. She was erasing the evidence in real time. Real talk. Does that level of planning scare you? Because it should. This wasn't amateur hour. This was professional-grade criminal infrastructure. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. The family CJNG, and then there's Malik Hassan, Layla's 22-year-old son. Surveillance footage from one of the seized warehouses shows him directing freight crews at 2 a.m., coordinating truck movements, and encrypting shipment data on cartel-issued laptops. He wasn't just aware of what his mother was doing. He was part of the operation. Federal prosecutors made it clear Malik wasn't coerced. He was trained, groomed, brought into the network as a trusted coordinator. He's now facing up to 35 years on trafficking and conspiracy charges. Layla Hassan is facing white heavy checkmark conspiracy to distribute controlled substances, white heavy checkmark leading a continuing criminal enterprise, white heavy checkmark money laundering, 18 counts, white heavy checkmark public corruption, white heavy checkmark tampering with federal aviation security systems. If convicted on all counts, she's looking at life in federal prison without the possibility of parole. Her son, Malik, faces similar charges, though his sentence cap is lower due to his age and role. But here's the part that should keep you up at night. The expansion plan. When FBI analysts dug deeper into Hassan's files, they found something terrifying. Plans to expand into 3 additional airports: Indianapolis International Airport, Milwaukee Mitchell International Airport, Detroit Metropolitan Wayne County Airport. The cartel wasn't stopping. They were building a network. Hassan was just the first piece. The FBI immediately issued a nationwide alert. Every major airport in the U.S. is now under review. Personnel audits, background rechecks, security protocol overhauls. But the question remains, how many other Layla Hassans are out there right now? How many insiders are quietly working for cartels, turning our airports, our seaports, our borders into pipelines for drugs and violence? I want your honest answer. Do you trust airport security more or less after hearing this story? Seriously? Let's have a real conversation in the comments. Alright, so here's where we are. Operation Northern Shield shut down a $150 million drug pipeline. It arrested 67 people. It removed cartel operatives from positions of power inside one of America's busiest airports. But it also exposed a truth that a lot of people don't want to face. The biggest threats to American security aren't always external. Sometimes they're internal. Sometimes they're people we trust. People with badges, clearances, and authority. Layla Hassan wasn't some street-level dealer. She was a deputy director with 15 years of experience, glowing performance reviews, and community awards. And she used every bit of that trust to build a criminal empire. Before you go, I need to hear from you. Do you think this was an isolated case? Or do you think there are more operations like this happening right now? What would you do if you were in charge of fixing airport security? Drop your answers below. I read every single comment, and I want to know what you're thinking. And if you made it this far, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. We cover cases like this every single week. Federal operations, cartel takedowns, the stories that don't make headlines but absolutely should. Turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Share this with someone who needs to see it. Because the more people know, the harder it is for people like Layla Hassan to operate. Thanks for watching. Stay informed, stay skeptical, and we'll see you in the next one.